Greetings, class. It's February 14th, 2021, also known as Valentine's Day, and also the day after the acquittal of Donald J. Trump and his trial for insurrection and um, impeachment future from being the privilege of holding future office. So I wanted to give a little bit of an update. Just talk a little bit about what's going on. Maybe relate the current events to the class. Just give you all kind of some extra input here. Um, so a few people have messaged me to let me know about the changes that are being posted to the syllabus today. There is nothing dramatic. You may have noticed that I changed some of the layout of the videos in the first 2 weeks um, because there were some issues the first week. I didn't want people to have felt responsible for as much of the material. Focus on the narrative. I've read through all of the narratives that have been put together and submitted. You're all doing great work. Let me just come right out the gate and say, like, I'm super impressed, and it's less about the being impressed as it is. I'm really excited. I mean, when you guys come out of the gate with really sophisticated understandings and experiences of conflict and peace, that just means that as we get into the depths of these experiences and what peace and conflict can mean for our lives. I mean, like, I'm really encouraged. I mean, like, we're gonna have some really like thought-provoking papers. I've seen that people are already talking about getting together for study groups and stuff. And I mean, like, the more you're able to incorporate that face-to-face component, that doesn't work for everybody, but again, like, taking that initiative, that's exciting to me. I will post my Zoom office hours, we do not have a set meeting time for class. This is completely asynchronous, but I will post it. I will be there. People could show up. We'll talk about class. We'll get caught up on stuff. All that same stuff. You make it or you don't. And for those who can't make it at the posted office hours, we can then schedule other times to meet virtually, because the student instructor interaction is profoundly important. And I had been waiting to see what the feedback from the class was before figuring out what times. But I'll do, like, Thursday evening. Again, you'll see it, but it's not required, but it's a chance to ask the questions. And I know sometimes it's easier to ask questions than it is to send an email. And some of the back and forth that I've had indicate to me that there are needs that, we'll address. And so one of those specific needs has related to due dates for assignments. I have posted due dates for the Thinking Critically, which are the questions at the ends of the chapters. That you're not doing it for every chapter in the Invitation to Peace Studies, but 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And I've posted due dates for those. But for the personal reflections, I had not posted due dates, largely because I didn't want you to feel like you were constrained to when you should have your ideas completed, since those activities are designed to help you write your best final papers. I didn't want to make due dates. That I could see is causing some frustrations. I will post those dates in the syllabus. Essentially, you'll have 10 days to submit your reflections, which I think is probably effective in making sure that you're not thinking about last week's material in next week's class, and having it start kind of piling up on you. As I've tried to make clear, due dates in this class will be exceptionally flexible. If you're having a problem getting something in on time, you don't even need to tell me what the cause is. I understand. We're still in the middle of a global pandemic, and people are struggling and people are having significant challenges. In no way, shape, or form do you need to feel like you need to provide an explanation. All you have to do is let me know when you're going to get it in. Period. Done deal. The only due date that I can't really be flexible on in any significant way is with the final paper, and that's because of when final grades are due. But if you're having challenges at the end of the term, still reach out to me and we'll see like what the best accommodation for you is. But yeah, sticking to kind of 10 days for your longer personal reflective responses is probably going to be helpful so that you can get it in, get it graded, and have it done. I know the reflections will frequently be incomplete because we're still learning and there's always more to say. But yeah, so these first narratives, we're drawing from a lot of experiences that are fairly familiar for me in these classes, including themes like people having the experience that avoiding conflict is the best policy, and not knowing that there are really strong protections or guarantees that engaging in conflict will produce outcomes. And I want to reiterate this kind of, I think, healthy skepticism. When there are risks involved with something, if your past experience with conflict says, entering into these conversations just makes things worse, hold on to that skepticism. I don't want to have students feel encouraged to create a disruption and dysfunction in their lives. The point for the class is that by the time we're done, you should have skills that are new, that you didn't know existed, that can be used in some conflicts, in some cases, to improve your opportunity for better outcomes. It's also intended to help you to better understand the skills you already have and why, in the cases that those skills do help you to achieve the desired outcomes, and how you can help improve those skills so that while you're achieving positive outcomes, you can strengthen your resolve and apply those skills into a broader set of kind of circumstances, or identify, right? What are the features of a conflict that make certain practices work well versus what are the features in conflict that make certain skills not apply to those? Right? Like spring term, we don't have Thanksgiving, but we probably can all remember those family dinners and so forth where rules like no politics sometimes really help, because as long as people don't talk about certain things, right? Conflict avoidance is a strategy for managing conflict. Not bringing it up is a way to deal with it, right? Not dealing with it is a strategy. But in other cases, people feel like, hey, if we're not talking about the things that are most important to us, what's really going on in this relationship? Family dinner is one thing. Intimate partner relationships, you kind of feel like you need to be able to talk about your conflicts and solve them together. So context is really important. Anyway, so like I said, I want to get back to the part where the starting points are that we do have skills and we do have experiences, and there's been a lot of really sophisticated thought that you're already engaging in before you started this class. So what we're doing now is we're taking deeper dives into the parts and into the questions that you're either curious about or identify the strongest need for. So again, we're writing a lot, we're thinking a lot, we're reading, we're watching these clips. I'm updating a few more today, but each week my intention here is to just post that weekly schedule, provide whatever update or supplementary information there is. Like I'll post this video link with the material for week 3. And so you'll see it all collected there. The syllabus didn't have all of the links for all of the YouTube videos, but each week I will make sure that those are posted with that material. In fact, I'm going to try to do week 3 and week 4 in this posting, so you see what's going on this week and next week. And then in week 4, I'll post week 4 and week 5 at the same time, so that those who feel like they want to watch ahead or get ahead for whatever reason, right? We know future events are coming up. Sometimes getting our work done in advance is helpful. So anyway, that's the way I'm planning on modeling this. The folders for submitting the content, all of them are up and running. I noticed a number of you have used kind of the get to know each other features for the class. It's great. That wasn't required. In fact, I didn't even really realize that for this term that had automatically been turned on. But I'm really glad that you're getting a chance to identify, common interests and so forth. And again, the study session is, that's student driven. If you ask me to join you for a study group or to participate in that anyway, of course I will. But I'll have my Thursday evening office hours, and I'll post the Zoom link for that. And if you've got questions or just want to get a chance to have some FaceTime, whatever it might be, show up. Again, it's not required, and if the Thursday evening doesn't work for you and you want to meet at a different time, we'll schedule that. But again, we're trying to keep this real. We're trying to make it real. It's like I said, from my position, seeing the again, just the critical analytical thought being presented in the responses from this class. I mean, this is good stuff. I'm really excited. So stay tuned for the next one.